Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Juggernaut, and it's been a while since I did a channel update, and well, and the New Year's Eve and all that, Christmas and all the holidays and festivities that are upcoming and have, for some of you already, begun, I think is a great occasion as any other, really, to, catch up with you guys a little bit, I guess, and tell you what's going on, kind of somewhat personally, although I tend not to talk too much about my private life here, but, with the channel and everything, and just sort of, sit down and chat about this whole YouTube thing, without having to, slither in a few comments here and there in Let's Plays and other videos and so on and so forth. So, here we go. Hi, how's it going? How have you been? Basically, I want to thank you all for the generous support that I've received throughout the course of the entire year. I think this sort of whole, well, I don't want to really call it boom, because I still have a pretty small channel, right? I'm under no illusions that this is a very small channel with a very limited number of people watching, but at the same time, I'm under no illusion that I've made great strides in increasing the number of views that I have, the number of people that know about me, that, follow the channel and so on and so forth. And I want to thank you all for the support that you've shown me. Specifically, this whole quote-unquote boom. Again, I don't really want to use the word because it's a bit too grandiose for a channel like this. But yes, I guess this sharp increase in relative popularity and views that I've been getting sort of started off with, well, way back in the day with Stalker Anomaly, right? And it's a fairly niche little thing, and especially with the amount of mods that I was using and the way I was playing, it was fairly niche and I guess at the time new to people. Well, maybe not necessarily so new, more like that there aren't that many people that did that sort of content, and I did, and it was incredibly fun. It will forever be probably one of my favourite games of all time. And so, yeah, I mean, that's sort of where it started, and I feel like I picked up a lot of fans there, and a lot of people that enjoyed my content, not just for the Stalker Anomaly stuff itself, but sort of more the, general type of personality, commentary, the style of content, I suppose, so on and so forth. And if you're one of those people that joined up then, well, welcome, and I truly appreciate it, and it really does mean quite a lot to me. And I think as far as the channel's been concerned, I have no reason but to be anything but extremely grateful and proud of everything that I've done and everything that you guys have helped me to create over time, right? Both with your suggestions and your support and so on and so forth. I feel like I've done fairly all right for the channel. I've tried to continuously increase the quality of content that I produce. I try and edit my videos a little bit more, cut out some of the less interesting bits of Let's Plays, which back in the day I wouldn't have done. Right, this is especially true for stuff like Fallout London that I've been playing recently, quite a bit of, and it's an ongoing series right now. On the other hand, Tarkov is a different kind of video game where you don't really, well, at least there's heavily edited videos of Tarkov out there. It's just that they're not really something I like, and so as a result, I don't really want to produce content like that. It's just not the style of videos I'm going for that particular series. But besides the point, yeah, just genuinely thank you guys, and like I said, I'm gonna keep trying to make more and better videos for you guys. On a professional level, and with my job and everything, I've also done fairly well this year. The last year was a bit of a setback, but now I'm sort of on track for everything once again. I do have a fair bit of work ahead of me this year, 2025. I mean, I need to get my thesis out and register it. Is that, well, technically yes, you sort of register it, quote unquote. It's a slightly weird word to use for a thesis, but that's basically what we do here. So you submit your thesis, but not the entire thing. You just, it's a process, right? There's loads of paperwork and it takes loads of time. But yeah, the stuff for my thesis needs to happen, right? this year, and I need to fulfill some quotas in order to be able to get to the process where I'm actually defending my thesis and so on and so forth. So it's going to take a while, is what I mean. And then there's a a decent bit of work ahead of me, but again, like I said, I've been fairly all right as far as that's concerned. What hasn't been so all right is, well, how do I put this? Things on a more national level for my country. We've had a number of tragedies. We've had, we had protests. My university's engaged in protests as well over some of the problems that we've been facing. And these are the largest university/youth-led protests that this country has ever seen. And the government seems to be rather tone deaf towards any concerns that the young people of this country have, and their response has been, well, quite frankly, disgusting most of the time. So the last thing I want to talk to you about here is local Balkan politics, right? But and I won't, believe me, but the reason I'm saying this is it sort of makes you appreciate more the good stuff, right? When you realize that your life could have been in danger due to certain things, when you realize that there are serious problems plaguing people around you, and so on and so forth, that it's, you tend to appreciate what you have a little bit more, is all I'm saying. And that's about it. That's what's been going on here. As far as the channel itself is concerned, the main reason you probably clicked on the video, well, thing is, I've decided, like I said previously in I think the last one of these updates that I did, I'm going to focus more on games that I enjoy playing and more on games that I like, rather than trying to sort of chase a trend of some description. Key example of that, I suppose, is the fact that I'm not playing Stalker 2. The reason I'm not playing it is I think the game's not ready yet. It's a fun game, don't get me wrong. I know a lot of people are enjoying it. That's great. It's not perfect, though, and I would rather wait a little while longer until it's a little bit more polished and stuff, because right now it really does feel rough around the edges, especially for a Let's Play, because I've had significant problems with the game in terms of the game not really cooperating. I've lost the save file, and yeah, for a Let's Play, that's really, really bad. Can you imagine? Right, just like halfway through the, 10th episode, you just lose the save file, and it's like, oh, what the hell? That's like, 10 hours-ish of gameplay. Do I just repeat all of it, delete the series, try again? What, Ugh. Anyways, I also know that a lot of people have been playing the game without any problems whatsoever, which, great. It's just I haven't been one of them. Although the game's been fairly alright most of the time. I had, like I said, that one save game issue where I just couldn't progress. It would just keep crashing around the similar point, and I didn't know how to fix it. But yeah, anywho, hopefully the next few patches that come out will fix the game even more. And like I said, I'm done trying to chase some trends for the purposes of trying to attract more viewers or whatever. And no, instead I just focus on the games that I want to play, the games that I enjoy, and I think that's when I produce the best possible content, the most interesting commentary, and the most enjoyable videos, right? Whether it's I like to think witty remarks and something at least moderately funny, or whether it's immersive content and role playing and stuff like that, whatever the case may be. I think that's sort of where I'm at my best, quote unquote. And yeah, so that's what I'm going to continue to do, basically. And I figured out that planning my Let's Plays sort of in advance and roughly how long they're going to take is very helpful for both me personally and the organization of time and everything. And so I figured out that if I want to do a Let's Play of, for example, The Witcher or something, I need to plan that I'm going to play The Witcher from March until June, for example, whatever. And then, I can look at some other games that are releasing in that time period and decide, well, do you want to do that Let's Play or this Let's Play, and so on and so forth. But sort of take that time factor into consideration. And I think that's been a major quality of life improvement for me, being able to sort of factor that in. And I've looked at how, I mean, I'm not afraid to specifically mention names. I've looked at how Gopher does things. He's a fellow Let's Player on YouTube that's been doing Let's Plays for an incredibly long amount of time, and I have nothing but the utmost respect and admiration for the man. So, you know, if you want to go and check him out, he does mostly stuff like Skyrim and RPGs of that description, Bethesda games, Fallout, Mass Effect, so on and so forth. That's mostly his main stuff. And yeah, anywho. So that's been helpful, and in terms of some concrete news, I will definitely be playing Project Zomboid very soon. Although someone asked for it already. And actually, I think I had several people talk to me, you know, when am I going to start recording and stuff, which is, I mean, it's amazing for me to hear that there are people actually interested in me playing. I mean, usually it's always been the case on the channel here, at least, that I don't really get requests like that very often. Most of the time, it's just like, you know, whatever you record, it's, you know, people either like it or don't, and then that's kind of about it, more or less. But now it's, like I said, it's kind of strange to be sort of, maybe not bombarded, maybe that's not the correct word, maybe that's playing it up a bit, but still, to get, like, quite a decent number of these requests is a little bit, you know, surprising, I suppose. But at any rate, yes, I will definitely be playing Project Zomboid, and I will start a new run, and I even know already roughly what the run is going to be like. It's going to be mostly a The Walking Dead, but Season 1 of The Walking Dead based run, right? With smarter zombies that are a threat but that don't sprint, and with the loot distribution being relatively the same. And my reasoning for that is essentially, I've done a run already, which hasn't really ended, I never really gave it a proper ending. I was busy, I wanted to record other things, and then Build 42 came out, and then I was playtesting that, and so on and so forth. But anywho, yes, I was a little, perhaps a little bit lazy with the recording the last few episodes for the current run that's going on. But yeah, besides that, besides the point, really, I've done a run where there's not that much loot, and it's not really a problem. I mean, I've survived, I've even thrived in such a run. It really wasn't a big deal. And so I think now I want to do a run where there's a lot more loot so we can explore a lot more of the gameplay mechanics. Not just the animals and the crafting, but like generally everything, you know, with construction, with fortifying places, with food, cooking, you know, weapon maintenance, and firearms and everything. But like I said, I do want to wait a little bit for a few more mods to get to get ported over, I guess, to 42, updated, whatever you prefer, and I kind of want to wait for the stable version to come out, because there is a significant number of bugs in the unstable build, and that's to be expected, that's fine, but I don't think those kinds of bugs would lend themselves too well to a Let's Play. And so I kind of want to wait a little bit more for it, see how things develop. I also want a couple of the balance issues to be a little bit addressed, because yeah, it's a significant enough problem, I want to say. Although, I do love the new combat system. I love how your character gets exhausted. I love how you get fatigue in your arms and stuff from just combat. And I love how you can't mow through 5,000 zombies now with a sword. You get tired and you're going to have to stop, and you have to sort of strategically and tactically plan out how you're going to go about combat. I think that's awesome. I love that, and I'm really looking forward to Build 42. But other than that, I don't have anything lined up and planned just now, so I definitely know that I'll be playing Zomboid. I will finish Fallout London, and, well, it's going to take a bit, but I'm going to be uploading a little bit more often, I think. I'm going to be doing probably around 2 videos a day of Fallout London and eventually Tarkov and or Zomboid. Tarkov isn't going to last all that long. I think I have about 80 episodes of it recorded at this time, not uploaded yet, but I think I have around 80 recorded, 75, maybe something like that, ish, and it's not going to go for too much longer. I will move on to something else, and I will do another Let's Play. I'm thinking it's probably going to be of a strategy game, maybe Total War Warhammer again, but a relatively short Let's Play of Total War Warhammer. The previous one I did with Kislev was fun, it was great, it just ended a little bit prematurely due to save game issues and modding, and you know, so on and so forth. The game updated, and the mods updated as well, but you couldn't load back the previous save, so on and so forth. So small issues like that, let's say, that were a tiny touch problematic, but yeah, probably like a similar run to something like that, and then afterwards, yeah, well, we'll see, I suppose, what will happen. And yeah, I think that's about it. If you do have any particular requests that you would like to see on the channel, feel free to let me know, and I will get to them. But for now, that's pretty much it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. A quick little short update video to let you know what's going on. Yeah, that's about it. I do want to do a few nature videos as well, like, I know you can't really do hunting videos on YouTube, but maybe stuff like a stroll through nature occasionally, with elements of hunting censored, right, and cut out, or maybe like a shooting range video or something like that, because it'll be just something interesting and new for the channel, and something I didn't really have time to get around to this year all that much. Yeah, what can I say? PhDs are expensive, and so are firearms. There you go. Basically, that's it. But I do want to sort of keep you up to date on that, and you know how I'm. And I realize I haven't done really a video that I promised a while ago about modifying that AK that I bought and stuff. It's because I haven't gotten around to it yet. It's gonna take it's gonna take a while for them to get the parts and stuff. And like I said, they're relatively expensive, so I haven't gotten around to it yet. But yeah, that's definitely on the docket for this year, as well as, you know, some of the Let's Play stuff that I mentioned, but that's for a later date. That's about it. Right, is there anything else? Let me see here. I have some notes. No, I think I've pretty much covered it all. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your support. Thank you for a amazing year, as far as I'm concerned, here on YouTube, with tons of interesting videos, great feedback from you guys, constructive criticism on how to improve things. I went from, you know, one keyboard to a different setup, to recording like this, to recording like that, to fixing some GPU issues and so on and so forth, and all that turned out great eventually. You know, turned out that all that will sort of improve the quality of videos I make by a slight bit, but, you know, bit by bit, and you're sort of getting up there in quality. Thank you for your support. I wish you all the very best in the following year, because I know that for a lot of people, the previous year hasn't been that great, hasn't been that memorable, and it's just been sort of a flat line, or worse. Both due to like some world events and you know, I think based on what I've been reading online and stuff, I think a lot of people feel like that in general, even if they haven't had any major problems themselves on a personal level. I hope the next year brings you a lot more joy and a lot more happiness, and I hope that you will in the future look upon it a lot more favourably than the previous years. Yeah, all we can do is hope, right? At any rate, Merry Christmas as well to all my Western folks, I suppose, of the Western churches, quote unquote. Orthodox Christmas is coming up on January 7th, so that's why there wasn't a Merry Christmas video or something like that. So I tend to do these around New Year because they're a little bit more global. And it kind of feels awkward saying Merry Christmas when it's not your Christmas. Although I get that you don't have to celebrate it to wish someone Merry Christmas. It's not that. It's just, this feels like a more central sort of moment for the channel, where it's sort of a bit more uniting, I suppose, in that we all celebrate New Year, right? I mean, regardless of where you are, it's sort of an international thing. So yeah. Congratulations on rotating around the sun and coming back to the exact same point where you started, relatively speaking, although that's not entirely true also, but yeah. Have fun. Take care. And bye-bye.